Welcome to First Page Fridays. I'm April Dávila for Sit Right Here, and today we're going to look at somebody's first page. Thank you to the writer who sent in your page. This doesn't work without you sharing your work and being generous enough to allow us all to learn from your writing. So thank you. If this was not your page that we're about to read, you can always send yours in. Check out the link below this video. You can send in your page. We'll put it in the queue. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you do see when your page comes up. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll move myself down to the corner here, and keep in mind that I haven't read this yet, so I may stumble a bit. Be patient with me. It's called The Well, and the sound of the hunter's horn drew the attention of a large number of people to gather around the ancient well. A lady in her mid-30s years old, wearing beautiful clothes, appeared to address the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I stand in front of you to welcome you to Maisawa village for the celebration of a journey through the underground tunnel to the sea in North Africa. This is the longest journey of 1,000 miles, and the people who are going to embark on the journey are a white young man called William Hold on, are we still? I don't know when the quote ends, if she's still speaking. But I'm just going to run with it. Okay. And the people who are going to embark on the journey are a white young man called William and Laushi. William traveled, I'm assuming his name isn't William and Laushi. The people, okay, a white young man named William. Okay, whatever. We'll come back to questions later. And Laushi. William traveled from England to find out the true source of the well. He traveled to many parts of the world to find out the history of the ancient world. He traveled thousands of miles from the west to the east on feet, and his work is digging, saving, and preserving the bones and bodies of the legendary people of the world. Tonight he will go on a journey through the underground tunnel to the sea. Laushi is the son of a well digger. He spent years digging wells in the region, and he is a hard-working young man. Among the guests are scientists, writers, archaeologists, and journalists. The journalists came up with a bold caption in the newspaper: "Great Mystery of Tunnel, a Journey to the Mediterranean." This is the longest journey ever of a human going through an underground tunnel, and the trip needs professional skills, hope, courage, and adventure. Okay, so the writing's a little rough on this, but we're gonna dig in all the same. Okay, the sound of the hunter's horn drew the attention of a large number of people to gather around the ancient well. A lady in her mid-30s, wearing beautiful clothes. Now, beautiful is very vague. I wonder, can you describe what are the clothes? Is she wearing like beautiful in my mind? It could be different things, right? Is it like a tight red sequin dress? I mean, that's gorgeous. Or is it like a flowing robes within like indigo and sage green? Very different versions of beautiful. So see if you can give us some specific details here. And she appears. Where does she appear? How does she appear? I feel my biggest note on this, my first impression on this, is that it's trying to do way too much. A first page is only 250 words. You do not have much space. What you need to do is drop us into one scene with our main character, hopefully, maybe one or two others. So if this lady in her mid-30s is not a main character, it's still okay. So we would have her and then William and Laushi. But like, okay, the sound of the hunter's horn drew a large number of people to gather around the ancient well. I would just start with people gathered around the ancient well. I mean, it's okay if the sound of the hunter's horn drew a large number of people. Can you be more specific? A large number could be 10. A large number could be 3,000. So, and imagine like in your head, very different image, right? And the ancient well, can you describe it a little bit? Is it in an open square? Is it in the building? Again, you don't want to go into deep descriptions on all of these, but a couple of words. I'm just going to, and forgive me, I'm going to make assumptions just to show like examples of what I'm talking about, right? The sound of the hunter's horn drew 2,000 people to gather around the ancient well in the town square. a lady in her mid-30s. Okay, now a lady. There's so much. I mean, there's so much opportunity here. I don't know where to start, and I don't know. I mean, they're crossing under to Africa, so I'm thinking like Greek. I don't know. But then William has traveled from England, so maybe like you want to start giving some hints of where we are, right? A lady in her mid-30s wearing a flowing cape flowing indigo cape over a loose fitting dress, linen. Let's go linen dress. Stepped up onto the edge of the well to address the crowd. Like, give us a sense of where she actually is, right? And then keep in mind, you need to end your quotation marks. I was reading this whole thing as if she was still speaking, right? This is the longest journey of 1,000 miles, and the people who are going, like, and it's, I'm not sure that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I stand in front of you to welcome. How about I welcome you. Tonight, I welcome you to Misawa village for the celebration of a journey through the underground tunnel to the sea in North Africa. I'm guessing this is the longest journey of 1,000 miles, and people who are going to embark on the journey. I'm just not sure where the quote ends. When does she finish speaking and our narrator pick up? I'm just going to take a rough guess here. This is the longest journey of 1,000 miles, and the people who are going to embark on the journey. So the reason this threw me when I was reading it is that, like, a white young man called William and Laoshi. Like, does Laoshi not warrant any kind of description? I hesitate to make assumptions, but let's put in description of Laoshi. And again, as specific as possible. A white young man. Is he, I mean, it's effective, but I feel like you could be a little more descriptive, like a pale-skinned man with red hair, or I like the word pale-skinned if you're really going for white versus, like, I don't know, if he is Greek, maybe he has like olive-toned skin. You could be a little more specific about what does he look like. Does he have dark curly hair or red hair or blonde hair? And then just, even this intro is a little rough. And the people who are going to embark on this journey are a white young man called William, and description of Laoshi. William traveled from England. Okay, so this is all backstory. He traveled to many parts of the world to find out the history of the ancient world. He traveled thousands of miles from the west on foot, presumably. And his work is digging, saving, and so this is a lot of expository backstory. None of that belongs on the first page. So again, I feel like you're trying to do too much. Just slow down. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I welcome, who is hearing this? Who is our main character? Who are we with? Is it this lady, or is she just making the announcement? If assuming, is it William? I mean, we get a lot of background on William. You need to be in a character's perspective. Even if William and Laoshi are both main characters, choose one of them to give the perspective of the opening. So you would be like, William looked up at her. He had traveled so far for this. And then he looked over at his partner, Laoshi, who would be his companion on the journey. Like, really just keep us in this moment, because you have plenty of time to tell us all of William's travels and his studies and the work he's doing preserving bodies and the people of the world. And then tonight he will go on a journey through the underground tunnel. You've already told us this, right, ladies? And tonight for a celebration of a journey through an underground tunnel to the Sea of North Africa. So anytime you're saying something twice, you're just wasting page space. Especially space on the first page is so limited, and it has to do so much. You have to get us into scene, certain time, certain place, certain number of people. That's what a scene is. Ideally, some conflict. Where's the conflict on this? I could see the conflict being maybe William doesn't want to do this. In that case, get that on the page. Like, where are they standing in the world? Are they looking at like the mouth of the cave that he will walk down into with Lao Shi? Does he hate Lao Shi? Maybe they have a history. Maybe he's like, I can't believe I got to do this journey with this guy. But like, let us know who we're supposed to care about in this scene, and then stay with that person. No backstory, no career, no CV, no resume. And then also, okay, so no repetition. There's no time. So I'm just going to cut out. Okay. This is the longest journey. And people who are going to, okay, so none of this. I'm just going to delete all this. We've already heard this. We don't need that. We definitely don't need to know, Lao Shi's heritage just yet. We don't need to know what he's spent his years doing, that he's a hardworking. Ideally, these are things we will learn as we go on this journey with them. It doesn't belong on the first page. Among the guests, and so the question here, the guests, is this an official? This doesn't seem like an official event, right? If you're just blowing the horn to draw people in, is this the kind of thing that guests are invited to? I don't know, maybe, but we definitely we don't need to. Among the guests are scientists, writers, archaeologists, and journalists. I don't know that it matters yet, right? Because I don't know who I'm supposed to care about yet. And the good news is, I'm sorry if I'm being a little harsh on this, but the good news is that when you realize that you don't have to explain their whole back history and their job history and their family history, and that you only need to explain them, describe them just enough so that we understand who they are, it frees you up to really drop into this scene. And I would encourage you to pull a recently published book and look at the first page. What you'll see is that they drop you right into scene, which you start to do, but then you pull us right away into all those other things. So really let this scene unfold and ask, what is the conflict? Once you figure out who your main character is, and I'm just guessing that it's William, what does he want and why doesn't he have it yet? Can you get that on the first page by showing us? If what he wants is to already be on this walk, and oh my God, won't this woman just stop talking and let me start walking already? That's enough conflict for a first page. If he's really anxious to get started. If he doesn't want to go on that walk, if he just wants to go home and he can't believe he got roped into this thing, and this other guy, Lao Shi, is so excited and he can't, what have I done? One of those moments. Great. Get that on the page. Show us. Don't just tell us. Let him react to things that she's saying. Let him interact with Lao Shi. Maybe you open this right at the mouth of the cave and they have to start walking. So I'm not really sure. I don't feel like I can do a lot of help in terms of editing this, because what it really needs to do is just slow down, put us in the scene, save all the backstory for later. It will all unfold in natural time as the story is going. But right now, drop us into this story. Where is this ancient well? What time of day is it? What time of year is it? Who are our main characters? Let us know right up front, and let us know what they want. And that will just inevitably lead to the posing of the question of the story. Will they get the thing that they want, or will they not? And that's the kind of thing that gets a reader sucked in and gets them turning the pages. So I'm sorry I can't do more actual line edits on this, but I do hope this was helpful. Drop us into that scene. Tell us all the details. Give us a little information, more than just, a young white man. And then nothing of Lao Shi. Yeah, give us a detail or two. Let them interact with each other. Let them respond to other people in the crowd. I'm very curious. It seems like an interesting story. Just need a few more details on who these people are so that I can relate to them and be drawn in. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your page. And if this wasn't your story and you'd like to send in your page, don't forget, there's a link below in the show notes. You can send it in. We'll put you in the queue. And until then, happy writing. I'll see you next Friday.